Hi, I'm Jarrell. I'm not a reviewer and I'm not a YouTuber. I just wanted to share a review for the Apple Creek Dulcimer. This guy. I'll put the exact model name in the description. Boy, am I out of frame? Or I guess I'll. Yeah, there we go. I'll lower the chair a little bit. Okay, so this is already a special beast. I've customized this a fair bit to fit my needs and to improve it a bit. So uh, I got this from Musician's Friend. I think it was like $79 or something like that. And shipping to Australia was like another $60 or I don't know, something like that. But if you want a dulcimer, if you live in America and you have access to like, there are places that hand make these. They're absolutely gorgeous. They are beautiful. But they're going to be much more expensive. You're looking at a few $100s. For $79, you cannot go wrong with this thing. Uh, I would recommend doing a few things to improve it. Right out of the box, it's not incredible. I wasn't super impressed. I've had dulcimers before. I wasn't super impressed with this. But there's always room for improvement, whether it's an instrument, our bodies, or our souls. There's always room for improvement. So the first thing I did was I purchased a cheap guitar scratch plate. I measured it and then I cut it to fit that. Just there. And the reason why I did that is because in general, when that dulcimer's sitting on your lap, you kind of want your finger there holding the dulcimer down so it doesn't slide around. A bit like this. And I noticed after a couple minutes of playing, like it's not a great quality finish on this guy. My finger oils were starting to wear through whatever cheap finish they have on the surface, and I don't want this ending up looking like one of Willie Nelson's guitars, where there's a hole in it from where my hand was sitting. So yeah, I put a scratch plate on there so my finger oils don't damage it. Secondly, what I've done is I've replaced the plastic saddle with a bone saddle. So I purchased a guitar saddle, bone, from eBay, pretty cheap. You can get them easily. And I just cut it to fit. I sawed it, and then I carved out the notches for the strings. And then you'll notice something else strange as well, which is not standard. I've not seen any other dulcimer that does this. I actually added another tuning machine to this bad boy. So normally you only have these guys here. Ignore that guy. I added that. So you have the four. You have your bass. You generally have one middle string. And you have your paired higher strings there. With this guy, the middle sounded very empty. So you're getting some nice those and you're getting this guy. But then you got, and it wasn't a lot. So I wanted to pair the middle string. So I added a notch there, added a notch there, added a screw, added a tuning machine. Took half an hour maybe. So there's a lot more going on now in terms of resonance, and it has much more presence. So when I got it, it was quite a bit tinny. I wasn't super happy with it. Now I'm very happy with this instrument. There's one, I suppose, philosophy issue with this instrument, and that's a lot of the resonance and vibration occurs on this, your backing. The problem is when that sits on your lap, you lose a ton of resonance. I'll just play it here. I don't know if the phone microphone's going to pick up the difference. Okay, and now I'm going to hold it at an angle so that the back is not resting against my legs. It has a very pleasant sound. The strings that came with it, obviously any instrument that you purchase is just going to come with real yucko strings. Chuck them out. I put a guitar string for this one. It's bigger. I used a larger gauge than is recommended because the lows on this were quite weak. I wasn't getting the presence that I wanted, so I used a larger gauge. I can't remember off the top of my head. If I remember, I'll put it in the comments, or I'll try and check. If I can figure it out, I'll put it in the comment. If anyone even cares. So yeah, then you've got your paired middle, which I've added, and then your top. So these are meant to drone, but that's got a lot more presence now. So in terms of manufacturing, I'm not super impressed with the finish. It's very cheap. I'm not impressed. I'll show you the frets here. Whatever cheap finish that they put on this thing, they sort of wiped it on with a towel. They also put it on the frets. I don't know if I can show you here. It's not amazing. Oh, you can sort of see it there. So when you scratch the strings against the frets, you can see the cheap finish coming off. Why are you putting like wood finish on the frets? That's got to have some impact on the sound. It's going to have an impact on the strings. It'll dirty them up over time. So at some point I'm going to remove the strings and I'll set some masking tape down. I'm just going to lightly remove it with a bit of sandpaper and then I'll polish them up. So the frets look very dull. I think it's quite ugly that they did that. But it's not the instrument's fault. It's just the way they slapped on some cheapo. You know, if I had time, I would love to sand the whole thing back and then put a really nice stain on it. I don't have time for that. I'm a grown man with a job and things to do. The video cut out there. Okay, so the tuning machines are they're real chunkers. They're real clunky. They grind as you're adjusting the string. They don't have they don't stay in tune great. They're real rough. It's real difficult to fine tune them. I think I'll open up these slots here. I'll open up the slots on the nut. They're probably pinching on the string a fair amount. And the action was quite high when I first got it. The intonation was pretty bad as well. So it feels like quite a budget instrument. You want like a handcrafted one made in America that's a lot of heart and soul goes into making a quality instrument. This was made obviously in some sort of sweatshop. Would I recommend it? If it's your only option and you've got, you know, $75 or whatnot, and you like putting in a little bit of elbow grease into your instruments, then yeah, this is a fun hobby instrument. It's not great out of the gate. Right now, I'm very happy with the way that it sounds, but I've put a fair amount of work into it. But it's not begrudging work. It was quite fun to work on this thing. And someday I'd like to replace the tuning machines because they are quite awful. But yeah, there you go. That's the Apple Creek Dulcimer that I got from Musician's Friend. I hope that you are happy and healthy and you feel good about who you are and what you're doing. And I hope you and your loved ones are safe and healthy. And I'm going to do some more instrument reviews. So I'm not a reviewer. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't care if you subscribe or not. Okay. See you around. Take care of yourself.